Alfie, we'll start with you once everyone is ready.
Hi, Tonda. Obviously, so close to a really impressive FA Cup semi-final win. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think over big parts of the game, outstanding performance from the boys. In these games, you're not going to have a lot of moments, that you always get a couple. I think we had a very big one in the first half. It's a very tight decision, and then we had a couple in the second half, that in the end, if you want to or not, but they're going to push you down there, that you have to defend a little bit deeper. And we had a look how they scored their goals this season, and there's not too many goals that they've scored from outside of the box so far. Unfortunately, it was 2 today.
We've had a lot of supporters sending messages in, and almost all of them have just been well done, and thank yous. You and the players satisfied that you can be proud of what you've achieved in this cup run?
Yeah, I think that we've done absolutely everything to represent this football club in the best way possible today. Obviously, we wanted to give the supporters a final here at Wembley. I think we were very close, so it's, I think, quite natural that there's a good sense of disappointment straight after the game. But in the end, there's a big one coming up on Tuesday, and that is going to be a test of maturity for us to put this game to bed as quick as possible, because we need another top performance on Tuesday.
When that Flynn Azaz goal went in, you must have believed that at that point you had a really good chance.
Yeah, well, you know that these games are never over. If you see and you look at the record of City that they've had over the last years, all of their games in April and May, there's not too many that they give away at this part of the season. So you know that obviously these 8-9 minutes and towards the end, they can become very long. I think that we've defended very well over big spells, and then it speaks for itself that it's 2 goals from outside of the box.
Yeah, you mentioned where Man City scored their goals from during the week, and obviously today, the man of the goals they've scored. I mean, Scienza, Tom Fellows, we've seen all of them get involved in that. It was a real team effort, I suppose, to try and limit them today. But did that come at a natural cost a little bit going forward, and did you expect that? Yeah,
obviously when you see their lineup and you see that they don't have a clear target player up top, you try to use some moments where you press them a little bit higher because they don't have a natural outlet then to just play into. But yeah, compliment to City in the way they set up. It's not so easy to then press high. It's not too many moments that they give you then to push further up the pitch, and then you need to be careful that you don't commit too many players rather than expose you in behind. So I think that's always the balance then in those moments, and I think we found a very good balance today, and that's what it is against those teams. Game is always decided by small margins.
If I could pick one player out, I thought Caspar Jander was superhuman today. I mean, was that some of the best that we've seen from him?
Well, I think at this stage of the season he's only getting better and better, and I think that speaks for him, and obviously it's not always been easy when you play your first game in England with the amount of games and the amount of minutes that you cover week in, week out, and it's good that he's peaking at this very moment of the season, because it'll be very important for us for the next run of games.
What is it that makes him so good at winning the ball back? Obviously he's got energy, obviously he's intelligent, but there's something, the ball just almost seems to stick to his feet whenever he tackles.
I need to ask him how he does it.
I wanted to ask about the unbeaten run. Obviously, this ends a 20-game unbeaten run, but can that performance and that spirit that the players have shown actually be a boost for the next 2-3 games?
Yeah, like every other game, we try to take all of the positives and move them on to the games that come up. But in the end, the hard reality of football is that you get some praise and you get some applause, but tomorrow no one cares. That's a reality. So we need to put the game to bed as quick as possible, take the positives from it and move on.
What will the impact of this physically be on the players? Have you got a massive game on Tuesday?
Yeah, let's see. We assess tomorrow. The boys are coming in for recovery, then we see how they are. Then we make some decisions for the game on Tuesday. We dive into Ipswich a little bit more throughout the day tomorrow, and then I'm sure that we have a very good team on the pitch that is ready to perform.
You've got players like Flynn who seem to be playing a bit of sort of knee strapping during the week. Is there the danger that some players won't be able to play?
Let's see. I think it's tough to say straight after the game. The boys all look good in that very moment, obviously exhausted because they left everything out on the pitch, and then we assess tomorrow and we take it from there.
And very lastly for me, if I can, we had Jack Stevens, Flynn Downs, Ryan Manning, they're all here and around the group. Was that a very clear, conscious effort to keep everybody part of this?
Yeah, well, Rhino knew, Flynn obviously knew with Steve it wasn't so clear, but then in the end he couldn't make it with his calf, and they asked at the beginning of the week already that they want to be part of this, and it just shows their character, how supportive they are, and going to be very, very important for the next weeks coming up.
You're getting a lot of praise around the country today for your performance and the improvement of the team, obviously all the way through the season. How difficult was it for you to balance the test today and the chance to reach an FA Cup final against how important Tuesday's game is, and indeed next Saturday's game? How did you weigh that up in the days before the game?
I think we've had this challenge for a few weeks now. It's not the first time that we come up with a decision. I think if you start to create momentum as a team and as a group, I think that you need to do everything to win games of football. And I think that sometimes gives you more energy than trying to save a player and save 5% here or there. But it's relentless at this part of the season. And the approach has always been the same. We try to put the best team out there that we think gives us the highest chances of winning a game of football, and that's not going to change.
Lovely. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay.